Happy Monday! It is time for Learning with Little Tweet. And actually, Neo's here too. He might hop up on the table. I don't know. We'll see. So today we're going to read this book called Be You. I know you read this with Mrs. Sandry in class, but it's such a great book. I want to read it again. This is written by Peter H. Reynolds, and he's the illustrator too. So he's the author and illustrator. I think that's really cool. All right, Be You. You were born to be so many things. And there's all these words. I don't know if you can see, but there are all these words around this page. Spiritual, dynamic, brave, sleepy, yourself, insightful, smart, humble, generous, kind, polite, empathetic, quirky, cheerful, visionary, selfish. Yeah, we all are a little bit selfish sometimes. Kind, philosophical, artistic, ambitious, and it goes on and on and on. Oh my goodness, all of these words are different. So many amazing words here. Persistent, exuberant, adventurous, gregarious, compassionate. So many great words. Hello. My wish for you, no matter where your journey leads, is for you to always be you. And it says, his shirt says, born to be me. Be ready to take that next step toward being an amazing human being. Be curious. Turn every stone, ask every why, and keep digging deeply. Discover your own answers. I have an audience. There's a kid walking by who's looking at the story too. Be adventurous. Live a big life. When you are ready, step outside your comfort zone. Bravely explore new paths and see where they lead you. Be connected. Find kindred spirits. Be with those who make you feel like the real you. Now I know, especially right now, it's hard to be connected. Another way of saying connected is together and enjoy being with other people. But if we can't be with other people in person, there are other ways we can do that, right, guys? With Zoom and with our phones, and even writing letters is a good way to, is a good way to do that. Be persistent. Keep going. Never stop. Keep going. Never stop. Keep going. Never stop. Be different. Be silly, be quirky, be odd, be unique, be weird, be colorful. Be okay with being different. Be just the way you are. Be kind. Oh, and down here it says be understanding. Help those around you to be themselves. Listen, then listen some more. Learn more about who they are. Be brave. Try new things. Take a deep breath and plunge forward into new experiences. It gets easier every time you try. Be your own thinker. Think for yourself and set your own unique course. It isn't always easy, but you'll be heading in the direction of you. Ooh, this one's tough. Be okay being alone. I know some people in my family are still starting to feel a little bit lonely. It's hard to Even though they have each other, they feel a little bit lonely because they're away from their teacher and their friends. But this says, be okay being alone. Take time to be on your own. Hear your own thoughts, your inner voice. Listen to your heart. Be patient. Being more you takes time. Take a deep breath. Relax. Let your future unfold at its own pace. It will be worth the wait. Be okay reaching out for help. When you need a helping hand, a compassionate ear, an encouraging word, reach out. As you voyage out into the world, remember, no matter what, you will always be loved. You are ready. So, go ahead. Be you. Be very, very you. I really love that book. I love it. And all of it is so important and so true. Now, I want you to think about some of the things that this book told you to be, okay? I know it's hard to remember, but think about some of the things this book told you to try to be, okay? And see if you can think of one of those things that is really easy for you and one that maybe is a little bit harder for you. So let me just quickly flip through and we can just like quickly list some of the things that this book says we should try to be, right? And you're thinking about, which of these things is really easy for me? Like maybe it's really easy for you to be kind, but maybe it's a little bit harder for you to be alone or patient. So which one is easy for you and which is harder for you? All right, so really quickly, let's just flip through. There's be you, be ready, be curious. I think it's really pretty easy for kids to be curious. Be adventurous, be connected, be persistent. That's a great one. Be different. Be kind. Be brave. Be your own thinker. Be okay being alone. Be patient. Be okay reaching out for help. All right. So, which of those are easy and which are a little bit harder? We all have things we're working on, right, guys? Not everything's easy for everybody. All right, we have time to maybe read another story. I brought some others. It has to be kind of a quick one. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Hill's walking up. Maybe Mr. Hill will read. No, not today. Hi. I'm recording a lesson. All right, how about this one? I took the cover off, but this is the one about little itty bitty baby Mercy Watson. When Mr. and Mrs. Watson first got Mercy, a piglet named Mercy. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson lived in a house on Deckawoo Drive. Deckawoo Drive was on an ordinary street in an ordinary town. And Mr. and Mrs. Watson were ordinary people who did ordinary things in ordinary ways. Look, there's his fancy pink car. One day, Mrs. Watson said to Mr. Watson, "I wonder if we aren't just the tiniest bit too predictable." "Predictable? Us?" said Mr. Watson. "Surely not." "It's just that sometimes I wish something different would happen," said Mrs. Watson. "Things are just fine as they are," said Mr. Watson. But then something different did happen. It says, caution, pigs, Molson's pig transplant. And Mercy went, boing. Uh-oh, poor Mercy. And then look, it looks like she just wandered right up to their house. Someone very small and not at all ordinary found her way to the Watsons' house on Decawoo Drive. Mr. Watson made the discovery when he opened the door for the morning paper. "Mrs. Watson," he called, "come see." "Oh, the little dear," said Mrs. Watson. "Oink," said the piglet. "I think she's hungry," said Mr. Watson. Look what he's eating. Maybe this is how she started loving hot buttered toast. "Is that a pig?" said Eugenia Lincoln. Eugenia Lincoln lived next door, and she did not approve of surprises or pigs. "It is," said Mrs. Watson. "Can you believe our luck?" "Don't be ridiculous," said Eugenia Lincoln. "A pig is not lucky at all." "Do you think perhaps the piglet would like a bottle of warm milk?" said Baby Lincoln. Baby was Eugenia's younger sister, and she was fond of surprises and piglets. Mr. Watson scratched his head. "A bottle of milk? I don't know. This is all so unpredictable." "Leave it to me," said Baby Lincoln. "Oink," said the piglet again. Mrs. Watson picked up the piglet and took her inside. She wrapped her in a blanket. "Have you ever seen anyone so darling?" she said. "Never," said Mr. Watson. "Here's the warm milk," said Baby Lincoln. "I have it right here." Eugenia said, "This is absurd." The piglet did not think it was absurd at all. She drank the entire bottle. And then she burped and oinked and went looking for more. "Oh my goodness," said Mr. Watson. "Watch out," said Eugenia. "She seems to like toast very much," said Baby. "Oh, the darling, darling thing," said Mrs. Watson. "Mr. Watson," said Mrs. Watson, "perhaps you would like to hold her for a bit." "Certainly," said Mr. Watson. He took the piglet in his arms. He rocked her. He hummed. "How extraordinary," said Mr. Watson. "She is a porcine wonder." "This piglet is a wish come true," said Mrs. Watson. "What a mercy she is," said Baby. "There you go," said Mr. Watson. "We will call her Mercy." "She is not a mercy," said Eugenia. "She is a pig." "Oink, oink," said the piglet. "You cannot name a pig Mercy," shouted Eugenia. But they did name her Mercy. She was entirely unpredictable. She was not at all ordinary, and she was very, very loved. There she is. So that's how everything started with little Mercy Watson. And I know you've read that book in class too, but I thought it would be fun to read. All right, guys, stay tuned for part 2. I hope you guys are having a good day. Miss you.